O que será que o Will Powers revelou pra gente na mais nova entrevista falando sobre o Crimson Desert? A gente vai assistir toda essa entrevista hoje aqui com esse pessoal do Dropped Frames. A gente vai ver o que se foi revelado nela, tá, pessoal? Se tem alguma novidade, no mesmo formato que eu já fiz os outros vídeos passados aqui também. É 1 hora e pouquinho de entrevista, mas eu vou pausando o vídeo, vou comentando com vocês e analisando tudo que tá sendo falado. Então bora conferir o que meu amigão pessoal falou nessa entrevista. Mas antes de começar, eu preciso lembrar você de se inscrever aqui no canal e ativar o sininho de notificações para não perder nenhuma novidade de Crimson Desert. Tô fazendo cobertura completa aqui no meu canal, então você precisa se inscrever e ativar o sininho de notificação para não perder nenhum conteúdo que eu tô postando, tá? Não esquece também de dar um gostei no vídeo se você gostar, compartilhar com alguém que tá tão hypado quanto você com Crimson Desert para espalhar a palavra e deixar aquele hype para ajudar na divulgação também. E se você for comprar o Crimson Desert, compra nos meus links aqui no comentário fixado ou na descrição, que você me ajuda demais também. Então, sem mais delongas, vamos para a entrevista e play.
Marketing. Please change the title. So congrats, I guess, first off.
Oh, thanks.
As we
Yeah,
rub
it's
it in their face a little bit.
Aqui eu já pulei a partezinha da introdução e tudo mais, tá, pessoal? Aqui eles só estão conversando com o Will Powers que ele foi promovido, né? Agora ele é diretor de marketing da Perlabis.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's we had to adjust the font size in order to make it fit, but
That's true. Yes. No, the fonts were much smaller. Here.
Eles têm uma introduçãozinha aqui, depois eles já começam no papo.
For old Will Powers. No, let's have a quick rundown. You're here to talk about a game that kind of has like this. I want to say it's been building up hype for a pretty long time. It's one of those things that we shot. When did y'all first show this? Was that 2 years back, 3 years back?
November of 2019.
Caramba, faz um tempinho, né, galera?
7 years back. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we don't need to math that. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Math that.
So, I overall that's why I'm here. So this game has gone through a couple lives. Even genre switches. I mean,
Uhum.
you're in game dev now. You can understand there's when it was announced, it was a different game. It was an MMORPG. It was a prequel to Black Desert.
E por isso que ainda tem muita confusão sobre o jogo, né, galera? Mas no vídeo que eu fiz agora, eu expliquei, tipo, tudo que a gente sabe sobre o Crimson Desert. Então, se você não assistiu, aí eu vou deixar aqui embaixo também uma playlist com todos os conteúdos e tem esse vídeo. É um vídeo que faltam 30 dias pro lançamento do Crimson Desert e eu falo tudo que a gente sabe sobre o jogo até agora.
Through development, it really came into its own. But not only development for the game, the devs made an engine, a brand new next generation engine to build this game as well as future games on top of. So you can't really say it's been in development for this amount of time because that's not truly accurate. We also made an engine then. But going back to what you said, JP, I think it's really important because we were pretty quiet for about 5 years on the game because it was changing what it was. Now we're really pulling back the curtain and it's time to talk about what the game is. That's why I'm excited to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
On that note, if you could finish that journey, so it started as an MMORPG, transition, change, amalgamated into what exactly do you guys classify it as it now?
Yeah, so genre's tough because then there's a lot of connotations with specific genres, and that's why like we'll get stuck on the developers don't want to call this an RPG, because we have an MMORPG, and with the term RPG come a lot of connotations around character creator, specific experience points and leveling systems and stuff like that. Those as players would expect them are absent from this game. However, there are a absolute ton of RPG elements. So I think that's why genre becomes a really tough thing because everyone has their connotations with it. So open world is the prevailing genre. This is probably the truest sense of an open world game I've ever played. And then the combat is very much inspired by arcade fighting games as well as combo driven and even like think almost platinum games to a certain extent. So there's a lot of different influences coming into this. So putting it in pigeonholing into one genre isn't the best fit. So open world action adventure ish. But open world is the prevailing thing.
E é a melhor jogada para eles também, no marketing e tudo mais, né, pessoal. Questão da exploração, igual ele falou, é uma mistureba que deu muito certo, né? Tem influências até de jogos de luta, jogos como ele mesmo cita em outras entrevistas, Bayonetta também, que é da Platinum Games. Então, assim, eles querem fugir desse rótulo do RPG, justamente para trazer esse mundo aberto, né? Que tá bem alta nos últimos tempos, a gente vê, só que dessa nova maneira que eles estão trazendo o jogo pra gente, né? Combinando esses outros elementos e tentando inovar nessa parte, né? Ali do combate, ali com as montarias, da exploração, de ser assim, o jogador ficar livre pra ele fazer o que ele quiser, desde a primeira hora que ele pisar ali dentro de Pywell, que é a região ali do jogo, dentro do mundo do jogo.
It sounds like Ko has never knew someone who was in a band. It's like, hey, what kind of music do you guys play? It's like, oh man, we cannot be held in by the box of definitions here.
Mano, se fosse uma banda de rock, Crystal Desert ia ser um rock progressivo, é isso.
You don't ask that, man. You don't ask.
It's
kind
Scotty.
of like a
It's
Tom
just Scott.
York Metallica vibe, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, so that actually brings up some really interesting questions. Well, if you don't mind, if just
Oh.
segueing real quick. So
Oh no, of course. So just overall, ask me anything. Like I said at the beginning, we're pulling back the curtain. Like this is the time to talk about the game. If I can't answer a question, that's on me. That's not on you guys. So ask me whatever you want.
cool.
Caraca, se fosse comigo, viu, Powers? Se tivesse entrevista comigo, meu amigão, eu só ia mandar pedrada.
Fantastic.
Só ia mandar pedrada de pergunta, você é louco.
I definitely thought this was like a single player like RPG. That's what I was thinking, like an RPG. So is there an inventory? Am I picking up loot? Am I equipping different gear?
Yes. So there is an inventory system. It's not like ARPG, like loot drops and rolls, like you'd expect with the Diablo style or something like that.
Uhum.
Gear is a very important part of this game, but there's a lot of unique gear within the world.
Isso é legal.
And that unique gear is either obtained from bosses, from blueprints you acquire from around the world, from you crafting and upgrading, or finding within the world itself. So the loot that's dropped from random enemies is more of think of it as a currency or resource based mechanic.
Massa.
But it still that goes into your inventory system, and you have a cap on the slots in your inventory that you can alter based on what you do in the game.
Okay. And just to kind of check box it,
Mhm.
kind of from the genre description from the beginning. So there's a skill system in regaining experience as well, kind of.
There is a skill tree that we've shown a tiny bit of, and you gain different what are called abyss artifacts through different things. You're losing my bit rate a tiny bit.
Yeah, your audio is still
Um,
good though.
Oh, we can
so-
still hear you just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are abyss artifacts that you obtain through a variety of mechanics, whether they're found in the open world, you get them from bosses, or from simply killing random enemies to obtain these abyss artifacts, and you use those to unlock different nodes on the skill tree.
É como se fossem os pontos de habilidade, né, pessoal? Só que a gente não ganha os pontos de habilidade upando, a gente ganha explorando, né? Com esses artefatos aí, as paradas do abismo. Essa é a parada, essa vai ser a moeda de troca pra conseguir desbloquear as coisas da skill tree dentro do jogo. E outras habilidades também.
So they're not. It's not strictly experience points in the traditional sense, which is why we don't want to call them that. And in an RPG sense, you're not putting them into stat points. Instead, what you're doing is unlocking the progression of the type of character that you want to play as.
Okay, so that brings up a question for me personally. If you're trying to get these, what do you call them? Artifact? What?
Abyss artifacts.
Abyss artifacts. There you go. If you're trying to get an abyss artifact and an enemy has it and you're having a really tough time, like, what do you do to like upgrade yourself to take on this guy to get that abyss artifact? If there's no
Well,
experience.
That's the beauty of it being an open world.
Okay.
There's no progression gating in the sense of I just need to get good in order to do this. If you don't want to do that specific boss, or I mean, maybe it's a crit path boss, then you do need to progress that in order to progress the crit path itself. However, you can just leave. You can do something else. You can upgrade your weapon, you can do side questing, you can find different things in order to make that fight easier for you. And that's something that I think is really interesting, because when people see the boss fights in this game, they immediately think Souls-like. This is not a Souls-like game, because Souls-like again has connotations and has specific definitions
Uhum.
of narrow dodge windows, things like that. This is much more combo driven, and you kind of dictate the pace of the fight. So there's no get good moment. There are definitely skill checks, and like you have to have a certain amount of in order to beat this boss. Like you need to. This will be a little bit harder in a progression standpoint, but if you can't do that and how your character is at that time, you can get additional buffs from food in camp. You can grind a bunch more consumables to make the fight easier for you. You can find a blueprint for an item that lets you revive in a fight to get an extra second shot while
Okay.
maintaining the same. And you can craft multiple of those.
Okay.
So you can over prepare and make any fight accessible to you. Does that mean
Okay.
the game's easy? Hell no. Uh, but I think that it allows that layer of accessibility, so you're never hard stuck, which I think is really, really important in the single player game.
Eu acho bem legal isso também, que tem várias maneiras de ficar um pouco mais forte e ser beneficiado de outras coisas que tem dentro do jogo, né. Então não é só a gente não vai depender só de equipamento, né. Beleza, a gente pode dar upgrades nos equipamentos, mas a gente pode, pô, ir lá e cozinhar um prato, ir lá fazer algum item também que vai ajudar na batalha contra chefes também, e vai facilitando a gameplay, né. Então é igual ele falou assim, tem como ir totalmente despreparado, se a gente quiser rushar o boss e tentar. Se a gente vê que tá muito difícil, a gente pode pegar side quests, pegar recompensas dessas side quests, aí ir melhorando o personagem, né? Melhorando o equipamento, a gente fazendo, craftando mais itens, pra gente chegar super preparado, com excesso de preparo para as fights, né? Então, tipo assim, pô, morreu, eu revive. Ah, eu usei uma comida que vai me buffar. E daí a gente vai administrando, né? Claro que nem todo mundo vai fazer isso, né? Pessoas vão rushar o jogo, tentar matar o boss com o que tiver e ficar tentando de novo, de novo, de novo, como se fosse uma pegada de um Dark Souls, né? Pô, morri ali e voltei pra fogueira. Vou caminhando de novo e vou tentar de novo. E tem os outros jogadores que vão fazer isso também, né? Vão explorar mais o mapa, vão fazer essas preparações pra depois ir pras fights, né? E ele tá falando isso de não ser parecido com Dark Souls, porque o Dark Souls tem aquelas janelas de oportunidade pra dodges, pra bloqueios. Então eu enxergo também o combate com bosses do Crimson Desert, um negócio mais Devil May Cry, o God of War também, das antigas, mais hack and slash. Todo esse tipo de jogo, Bayonetta e tudo mais, eu enxergo mais nesse estilo de fight do que o do Dark Souls, igual ele tá falando. Então, eu acho que vai ser bem desafiador, mas eu acho que vai recompensar muito também depois que a gente terminar a batalha com o chefe. Acho que vai ser irado, pô.
Yeah, that was the answer I wanted was like, if you come up against something that you can't do, and since there's like the experience points is not like a thing, you go out, explore, gear up, come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if it's side content, you don't have to if you don't want to.
But I want to.
So
Come on, dude. Are you saying like you go up against a boss that just whoops your ass and you're just like, forget about it. No big deal. I'm not.
He's not a streamer, Zeke. He doesn't have the same ego as us, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
so are we picking or changing classes throughout the course of the game? Or is everyone's kind of playing the same character?
It is so it's a very good question. It's your class. You're choosing your play style, but there is the
Isso é legal.
central protagonist that you're playing as, Cliff, who has specific move sets and everything. But through progression in the main storyline, you do unlock 2 additional playable characters. They're not strictly class based, so I don't want to do that narrow definition of them. However, they do have very different move styles, different equipment that they can equip, that adds variety to gameplay.
Uhum.
So there's you're seeing Cliff on screen right now, but there's Damien who has a pistol as well as a long musket, and a rapier that she fights with. And then there's Unka, who's an orc with a two-handed axe.
Damien e Unka é o nome deles.
So they all have very specific move sets. They're all individually mocapped. So there's a whole different feel and personality and everything that goes with those different playable characters.
Cara, eles adicionar os outros personagens, isso é muito bom, cara. Gostei demais.
A few people asking about difficulty options. Is there difficulty
Yes.
options? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And again, that answer has kind of changed over the years, so it's good to clear up any misconceptions about that. That's one of the hardest things about this game and it being announced a long time ago is through official channels, we had communicated certain things previously. Some of those things are no longer true as the game changed. So this is one of those things. So let's actually use this opportunity to set the record straight on this one. At this point, there is no difficulty settings. There is a single difficulty curve
Isso é legal.
for the game. And that actually plays into the set, not scaling difficulty of enemies within the world. So think about that as like you're able to, if you get stuck on an encounter, you're able to over prepare and scale up past it. So that's what that allows you to do within the world. Again, this game is not meant to be incredibly easy. It's not meant to be incredibly hard. It's meant to have variety of content and give you a ton of options within the world. I think looking at it from a holistic standpoint, kind of the guiding principle that the developers, I talk about a lot about the developers as in this secondary group because there's the dev team and then we're the publishing team.
Mhm.
So I want to be clear, like I'm not hitting the zeros and the ones and coding the game myself. I imagine the zeros and the ones as like a DK bongo drum.
That's accurate.
That's how they do it. That's
Yeah,
accurate.
That's how
actually-
games
yeah.
are coded.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows.
One
that.
So,
group has the
yeah.
one has the zero, and they just
Yeah,
obey.
and it's just like they're jamming. They have their own band.
Yep.
So, publisher side, we take all of that, assimilate all that information, and push it out and make the game publishable. So, I want to be clear about that definition for those that aren't. However, so the world as itself, like, it's this massive world that the variety of content in like is dictated by the devs just want the content to be fun. Anything that you do within the world, whether it's distractions, whether it's having the gameplay be fun is the guiding principle, which is really cool. I think that a lot of games have gotten away from that. So having that being kind of the central through note of all this variety of content, just we're trying to make something fun is just really refreshing.
Pô, que é o bagulho principal, pô, né, galera? Não adianta nada ter um monte de coisa no jogo e não ser divertido de jogar, não ser divertido de explorar. Mas essa questão da dificuldade, eu acho legal também, porque é uma maneira deles balancearem o jogo nesse sentido, né? Porque ter que alternar entre os modos easy, normal, hard, sei lá, eu acho que ia ficar bem difícil para balancear o jogo. Então, na verdade, a gente mesmo balanceia o jogo, né? Se a gente não se preparar muito, igual eu falei, pô, se for uma pessoa que vai jogar uma jogatina no estilo Dark Souls, pô, vou lá, morri pro boss, spawnei, vou tentar de novo. E daí esse ciclo fica se repetindo, né? Ou eu vou lá e posso me preparar. Igual num Zelda, por exemplo. Tô enfrentando um boss, pô, tô morrendo bastante, sei lá, vou cozinhar mais pratos de comida que vai me buffar, vou tentar achar um equipamento melhor, umas espadas mais fortes, trocar minha armadura. Então, assim, a gente vai criando os caminhos mais fáceis para se jogar o jogo nesse sentido, né? O jogo, igual ele tá falando, é desafiador, foi criado para não ser uma coisa tão fácil, né? Mas eu fiquei feliz com essa fala dele, que foi criado para ser um negócio, assim, genuinamente divertido de se jogar, né? Para ser, assim, prazeroso, né? Pô, quantos gameplays a gente não vê que a gente fica impressionado com a quantidade de combos e essas outras coisas e possibilidades que a gente pode fazer dentro do mundo, né? Então, assim, eu fico bem feliz com essa resposta dele, assim, de verdade mesmo.
So
Dude,
seeing
that shit
the
right there, that shot right there with the flying.
yeah,
that
dude.
was
Well,
pretty
seeing
dope.
these videos and
That was
just to
cool.
kind of throw in a little bit here. I think myself and many others have seen some of these preview videos and just gone like, there is so much in these games. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different mechanics. There's so like there was at one point in one of these trailers where there was like 5 or 6 back-to-back things, and each one of those could have been its own game. And it's just like
Isso é bizarro mesmo.
So my question to you is, like, were you in the room, or did you just hear about later when the scope guy got fired from the project? The guy stands up and says, "No, we can't do that. That's out of scope." When he got canned, were you there, or was that like a find out later thing?
Well, that guy never existed.
Oh,
You know what?
okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
and I think that that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this game actually, like, having its heritage in a studio that is known for making live service games and is known for making MMORPGs. In terms of content, in terms of scale, in terms of feature set, that's our only point of comparison internally.
Hmm.
So if you look at this, like, this is a wholly single player game, and is meant to be. There's ways that you make and structure the quests and the world itself very, very differently to adapt to a single player experience versus a multiplayer experience. So very, very different once the course changed from a multiplayer to a single player experience. However, from a feature set comparison, I think that that's a real benefit coming from that DNA as a studio.
Uhum. Total, pô.
To pull from of like, oh, well, we could do that over there. Why can't we do it here as well? Just because it's a single player game, why can't we have all those features? Why can't we? Why can't we? Why can't we? And instead of that being a prohibitive factor of feature creep, that's just becomes now a benefit of the studio DNA of, well, we already know how to do that. Why can't we just do that here as well? That system's already created. Let's just do it within this new engine. And now you have these additional mocap characters, these different playable characters. You have character dyes and customizations, things that people that play Black Desert will say, "Oh, that looks familiar to me."
Uhum.
Not identical, but that looks familiar. You're seeing that DNA transferred over and appear in a new way. So that's where I think, like, it becomes really cool to have this game that was something else become something new and really lean into it.
E é isso que ele falou, galera. Tipo assim, pô, eles já vêm de uma empresa, de uma desenvolvedora, de pessoas que já tiveram esse contato ali fazendo o Black Desert, que é um jogo que tem muita coisa também. E, assim, não teria nenhuma possibilidade de ideias que não seriam executáveis, né? Porque como é um MMO, o Black Desert, pô, eles já fizeram muita coisa dentro do jogo, né? Então esse sistema que a gente vê de casas, esses outros gerenciamentos também que a gente tem no Crimson Desert, a gente vê beber muito da fonte do Black Desert, né? E tá tudo bem também, mas eles estão adaptando isso para a experiência single player, né? E tá ficando, assim, absurdamente muito bom. Então é igual ele citou mesmo, não tem ideia que não possa ser executada, né? Porque o time ali é muito bom. As pessoas que trabalham nele são muito boas, né? Porque já tem uma vasta experiência de anos com o Black Desert. Então foi assim, uma fonte muito boa de se beber e trazer todas essas influências adaptadas para uma experiência single player, que é o Crimson Desert. Nossa, agora eu tô confundindo. Black Desert, Crimson Desert, né? Ai, ai.
That makes a lot of sense with the variety and
Yeah.
how that's actually like possible to do because it seems crazy, like just how like you just casually throw housing in there, like a full building
like town
city thing. It's
management.
yeah, like a town, like it's wild how much seems to be in this game.
Mhm.
Following that kind of DNA line you were talking about, the DNA of this is kind of an MMO, which definitely has a completely different flavor of monetization. What are you guys doing with this game? Are we going to see like a cash shop in here and stuff? Like how is that going to work with
No,
this?
this is so yeah. Thank you for asking that. This is a premium game. You buy one time, and I don't want to say that there's zero MTX because there are pre-order bonuses that we have, but anything that's announced and coming at launch is strictly cosmetic. Like like those are just the pre-order bonuses. This is not
So not like a cosmetic cash shop on release kind of thing.
no, like I can say that definitively. There is not a cosmetic cash shop. This is made to be a premium experience that you buy and you enjoy the world, and not something for microtransactions.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's
On
it's a monetization model. Like if you do free to play, then you need to make up the revenue in a different way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a premium experience. That is the transaction. Like full stop.
Fantastic. That's excellent.
Essa informação a gente já sabia, né, pessoal?
One of
Já
the
trouxe aqui pra vocês.
cornerstones of this project is kind of the large world to explore and kind of. So from a design perspective, I had kind of two questions. One, does this game feature a fully breadcrumbed main story that's going to take you around the world to the like important places? And is there an ending with credits kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. There's
Awesome.
there's a through line, and like obviously there's their main quest, main storyline, critical path, etc. That's going to take you throughout the world. You play as that central protagonist, Cliff. The elevator pitch of the story is you are a member of this clan, the Greymanes, and they are for practical purpose, they're the good guys. They're the protectors of this region called Payloon. Their enemies, the Black Bears, at the beginning of the game, destroy them and kick them and burn their countryside, their region. So all the Greymanes are scattered throughout the world. That's kind of the premise of the start of the story of you're trying to reunite and establish a new home for your faction in a different region that you're not familiar with.
Is that the home you're building?
Yeah.
The like, oh
Yeah.
damn. Oh, so you're actually building your home.
You
That's
are
awesome.
literally reestablishing your faction within the world.
Isso é legal.
You're building them up again, both physically as well as metaphorically. That's the very, very high level premise. And then you start seeing some things that are bigger than that. And then that takes you through a wild ride around the world through this bigger chaos that's kind of ensuing.
Excellent. So on that note, the second part of this question, first of all, just as a sideway, is the whole world handcrafted? What I mean,
That's
let
very
me refine that question a bit.
yeah.
let me refine the
I
question a
want
bit.
you to
Are we
define
gonna-
that a little bit more. There's like the
Is
world is
this-
very large, so I don't want to say every single stone is hand placed. Like I want to be very clear about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is this kind of like a Tainted Grail experience, Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, where it's like there's lots of POIs concentrated in a small area, or is this more of a KCD2 experience where there's long open plains where you're traveling great distances between POIs kind of thing?
It's in between the two. There's heavy concentration in towns within the world, and there are several towns and cities within the world. But the entire area is filled with little corners to be able to explore, to be
legal.
able to have things. Another just kind of like anecdote about the how the devs crafted this world is they wanted it to be a world full of distractions. So when you set a quest marker, when you
Oh God.
when you go into the map, you're like, okay, X there. I'm gonna go over there. They want you to be distracted along the way because this is very much they didn't build a game, they built a world. Is really the thought. If you think about it from that sense, then everything, the systems and everything, start to make a lot more sense. They want you to get lost in this. They want you to get distracted in this. And most importantly, they want you to have fun in what you're doing in the variety of content.
Very cool.
Isso é legal que ele perguntou, né? Da concentração de coisas, tipo assim, vai ter uma cidade principal, vai ser mais espalhado, igual Kingdoms Come também. Ele falou que fica entre os dois, né? E é bem legal que pelo menos tem esse balanço também, né? Pô, não vai ficar tudo organizado só em um lugar, né? A gente vai ter outros lugares também que vão ter essa distribuição ali dos NPCs, outras cidades menores, essas outras distrações também que ele tá citando, que são muito legais.
So I worked on KCD1, so that became a really difficult question about like I'm like, specifically every single thing is hand placed in that this, like, because of the size and scope of this world and everything, like, it's absolutely massive. There's density in specific areas, but there's also variety in the corners too. So there is a reason to explore the entirety of the map.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now that I am going to go. I'm gonna target a rock, and I'm gonna find the match of that rock out in the world, and I'm going to be upset with you for that.
The funny thing is like,
I was planning to do the same.
Okay.
yeah, the funny thing is like, when I play this game, like, one of the things that I've done is just like look at the horizon line and like instead of looking at the map, looking in game and seeing something and just going there. Like you just see something, like you see a little tower or something on a hillside and be like,
Fiz muito isso no Zelda, inclusive.
it's in the fog of war on the map. I can't even see it on the map, but I could see it in the world. So I'm going to go there. And inevitably something's there. It's an encounter, it's a treasure, it's something that I might not even have a quest for yet.
That actually brings up a really important thing for me, and I'm not like trolling or joking, but traversal,
Yeah.
traveling, because
Yeah.
big worlds require fast traveling. Talk about it, please.
Oh, so just choose your adventure, Zeke. Do you want a horse? Do you want a
Yes.
dragon? Do you
I
want
feel like
I
I'm a
saw
part of
a
this
Cê é louco.
Yes.
because I'm like,
I
wait,
saw a dude
I know where that
holding a
video
propeller.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
so
it-
that's Damien. So all the character, or I don't want to say, I'm trying very carefully to not make universal claims about things that I don't know. I haven't played enough Azunka. I don't know if he has an aerial traversal personally. So I don't want to make that universal claim about all the characters have this, because I don't know myself. I haven't played enough as him. But so as Cliff, he has crow's wings. You see it in one of the videos. White Crow, who's a witch within the world, gives him this power,
Uhum.
his ability to float and glide with crow's wings. Damien has another power herself, that umbrella or propeller,
Aham,
in
aquilo é
order
legal
to
também.
maneuver or propel yourself forward while in the air. So traversal within the world is very, very important, especially with a world that has the size and scale of this one, and a world that's not flat. When there's verticality to the world, it becomes important about how you get to that verticality. Whether it's climbing,
grappling hook.
yeah. So there's grappling hook, there's rock climbing on almost any surface in the game. Those are the wings that I was talking about right there, to be able to fly above the world. There's a mech. So
There's a
dwarven
mech.
dwarven technology. Yeah. So and then of course you have your dragon that you can fly in. Instead of saying like this is a grounded RPG, think of it like a power fantasy so these things are going to be within the world. So you see these machines right here. They're within the world, but if you get the mech, if you get the dragon, like those are going to be very, very powerful things. So balance becomes important. These are late or like mid to late game edition. So it's not meant to be something that can just overpower the world. It's meant to be as a reward for your investment.
Da hora.
Ok.
Eu gostei do que ele falou também, porque é bem importante uma coisa que eu falei em outro vídeo também, né? Essa questão da movimentação e interação com o cenário, da física aplicada. Pô, usar aquele golpe no ar para subir, ficar mais alto, né? Pular e usar esse golpe para atingir maior altura, né? Chegar em outras estruturas, usar o gancho. A gente conseguiu usar aquela palma também para se rebater numa parede. Então, assim, todas essas questões de movimentação, e também foi falado um pouco desse fast travel também, que ele quis perguntar, mas acabou não falando muito, né? Que vão ajudar na nossa travessia pelo mundo, né? Conforme a gente for andando, explorando, né, essas coisas vão facilitar a jornada. Vai ser mais fácil. Pô, eu quero subir uma montanha. Em vez de eu ter que escalar do zero, sei lá desde baixo, já posso pegar, usar o gancho ou usar essa habilidade da palma para conseguir mais altura, né? Dar um puta pulo para cima. E daí eu conseguir subir mais fácil, né? Então eu fico feliz com a movimentação de como tá sendo feito esse jogo também.
No, it's just like for something as big as this, like, not to bring up another game, but like the best decision Elden Ring or FromSoft ever made was giving you a horse, and that is, I just wanted to make sure that for someone who, like, I don't know, 400,
So there's
500 hours in Elden Ring, like just exploring every little nook and cranny, like that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to do it without it feeling tedious.
and again, I'm biased, obviously, working on the game, but in my personal experience, like, I really like how we did fast travel points. I really, really,
Boa, fizeram isso.
they're a reward for exploration. So here you see him flying into this area, and then something pops out. You discover something. This becomes a fast travel point. It wasn't flagged. It wasn't a reward for killing a boss, even. Like, you found it within the world, and as a reward for your exploration,
Legal.
you're able to move around the world.
Olha lá, fast travel, né?
So they're not these things that are centralized in towns. They're these rewards for really looking around the world itself.
So are these things you have to find, or are, if you get close enough, do they get marked on your map or anything? Or
Certain things have like fog of war indicators,
Okay.
but like they're not. It's not just completely easy to miss.
Okay.
But even with the fog of war indicators, you need to. It's a large enough area that you need to find it. So
Sure. Okay.
that's, you know, that something's there.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily where within that region to look.
So if you come upon an area and you're like, there should be a fast travel point here, there usually is. Is what I'm saying.
The indicator on the map for like fog of war for fast travel points is like, you know, it's a fast travel point.
Okay.
Is
cool.
there. You just
Okay.
then you start looking.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I have had this question a few times in chat, and it's important to, I'm sure important to a lot of people, as far as like optimization for not beastie machines.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
was
I
curious
have
about that
let me give the answer that I have given multiple times, and then I will give you a better answer.
Okay.
But the answer like that I've given multiple times, like, it still holds true. So, and I'm looking at you, Ko, as you're working on a game yourself. Optimization is usually the last phase of right before release, and it's incredibly important. We are being very careful about not releasing numbers until we're able to audit those numbers and verify those. It's like, so we've shown a ton of footage on PC. We've shown footage on PlayStation 5 Pro as part of State of Play, not this one from last week, but the previous one. So there is footage on console out there, but I do understand, and not just me, the entire team understands that's incredibly important to have those specs so that you know how the game's going to run on your machine. So we're guaranteeing that we're going to release those specs before the game comes out, so that people will be able to make the decision for themselves based on that before while they can still pre-order.
É o que a gente falou e é o que eu fico feliz dele ter comentado de novo, né? E dado, igual ele sempre falou isso, né? Essa questão é muito abordada nas outras entrevistas, né? Eu já assisti todas até agora e sempre é se levantado muito isso, né? Que é a última fase do desenvolvimento, né? Assim, é a fase de terminar a parada, né? De você lapidar a otimização do jogo, deixar ele totalmente jogável, né? Nas máquinas, nos consoles. E não é que eles estão escondendo isso, né, pessoal? Às vezes eles ainda nem terminaram, né? Eles não querem vir com números, igual o Will Power está falando, para às vezes depois eles falam assim, putz, mas a gente falou que ia rodar em 60, vai rodar 30 agora, galera. Pô, a gente falou que ia rodar eu não sei quanto e vai rodar X, entendeu? Então, eu acho bem legal também isso de dar uma segurada. Tem muita gente que tá com os ânimos exaltados por causa disso. Pô, os caras não mostram gameplay no PlayStation, pô, não mostra nada no Xbox. Mas ele já disse que antes do lançamento do jogo, eles vão vir com essas informações. Provavelmente vão soltar as gameplays também rodando dos consoles, né? Teste de performance a gente só vai saber depois também como é que vai funcionar. E eu entendo também que muita gente não tá fazendo a pré-venda por causa disso, mas se você for fazer, usa meus links aqui embaixo, que você vai me ajudar muito. E tem desconto na nuvem, tá, parceiro aqui do canal. Você pega um descontão na versão do PC. E assim, eu fico feliz que ele sempre comenta disso com segurança e na hora que for para ser mostrado, vai ser mostrado. Quando eles tiverem ali definitivamente aquilo acertado, eles vão vir a público e falar disso antes do lançamento do jogo ainda, que ele disse aqui.
So we're working on something, and I think people are going to be excited when they see how this game runs.
Kind of a side question to the technical stuff. Have you guys announced any kind of like de novo or any other DRM that you're using?
No, we haven't announced anything at this point.
Bom, não falaram nada de novo nem nada ainda, né? Eram umas questões recorrentes, até estavam me perguntando bastante aqui no canal. Só que eu nem sabia responder também porque não tinha essa informação. Então realmente eles não divulgaram nada.
Personally, I'm not aware of anything, but that again, like that doesn't mean anything. So sorry, that's a non-answer on that one, but I can't say anything definitively on that. I'm just not aware.
No problem.
Cool.
Não sabe, não. Tá bom, E-Powers.
It's been really interesting because I've been following the game for a while now, and you guys have been putting out these weekly videos and this like series that you've been doing. And one of the like, and I'm sure you've seen this as well, one of the most common statements is this game's either going to be the best game of all time with all this crazy stuff in it, or everything's going to be like very top level and not have that much depth to it. What do you like? How do you answer that? How do you answer to that?
I think, like anything, expectation setting is incredibly important, because we're showing all these features that you can do in this world. And if you understand that the guiding principle for the world and how all these features play into each other is how do we make a fun system and fun world to be able to have variety of content in, then like I think people will be really excited. But it's to answer your specific question.
I mean, it's an unfair question to ask.
But like to answer your specific question,
Director of
like
marketing. Hey, your game's not going to be the best game ever, right?
I dislike the comment about these are going to be shallow systems, because all of these systems are engineered to interweave within like together with other systems. So by definition, that's not shallow. Like, because of how the mining and the crafting and all of those work within each other, and that changes gear leveling, and that changes power leveling, and that changes how
Isso é legal mesmo.
within the world your character. All of those things play within each other. So by definition, like even that system existing, it's not shallow. So I kind of don't like that question as a whole, because I don't think any system, like other games, like make whole games on one system, and we'll never have the depth of that, because that's an entire game built on that. But I also don't want to say the systems are incredibly shallow, because they're not. Like there's a happy medium here, and that happy medium is that these systems play well with each other to create a cohesive system set that affects the world itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's like it's a tough question, but it's like it's one that I don't mind answering, because people still have, like, we're only showing what we want to show still. Like,
I totally thought they were force choke.
Eu falei isso no vídeo passado, inclusive.
I'm sorry.
Oh, the rock paper scissors.
Mas eu falei no sentido de, tipo assim, eles estão mostrando pra gente o que eles querem que a gente veja, né? Mas tem muitas coisas muito boas ainda que eu acho que não foram mostradas e que a gente vai descobrir apenas jogando.
Yeah, they're playing Russian Bow, dude. Come on, man.
That's a child code. Jesus.
Hey, you said it's a sandbox game. I don't know what you can do in your game, Will.
Yeah.
I don't know how far you guys.
I told you this guy's a good guy. He's not Anakin. He's not going to the Jedi Temple.
How evil can you be, Will?
That's a good question. Let's go with that one, actually. Like, let's fake question, but I like it.
I want to do an
we
evil run. Can I do that?
so we
that a thing?
introduce a crime system, and
Isso foi legal mesmo que ele perguntou.
things like that within the game. I think what's really cool is, again, like, it's not in RPG in the sense of like you're still like, your character motivation is you're the good guys. Doesn't like you can make those decisions, and you can actually be rewarded for those play styles that you choose. You can have gear that complements your play styles, additional attack level based on your negative notoriety or wanted system. Like, there's layers of that stuff within the game
Da hora.
to actually complement and reward people that want to play in that specific play style. Would I recommend like a full playthrough in that play style? I don't know. It's like, it's not, the choices aren't that grand, but does it give you the ability to have those decisions impact and have it be a choice that you want to make to, I need additional like attack on this boss. I'm going to get a crazy wanted level and see if that can spike my power to be able to do this.
Uma mecânica
Yeah.
interessante.
Something that like you can play around with in the systems in the world, and it might work. So I think it's less of a singular playthrough of like good, bad, or Han Solo. I think it's like, how do you want to craft your play style for that individual moment?
Very cool. You mentioned the 3 different characters.
Yes.
Is that something like Neo 3, you press a button and just go between them kind of thing? Or is it more you
Boa, essa pergunta é boa.
conscious
Queria
decision
saber
to
isso.
play each one at the time, going to a hub, or how does that work?
There are some specific things that we are still leaving to be discovered.
Cool. Okay.
And
Spoilers.
so this like you hit one of the questions that we're leaving for later moments. But I mean, that's because we still have, was it 32 days? But who's counting?
Eu estou contando, Will Powers, todos os dias. Eu estou contando, meu amigão. Eu, diariamente.
And we're doing a media and creator event between now and then. We need stuff to be able to talk about and show. We're there, so we're still holding certain cards to be able to do big reveals of those things. I want to be very clear, because one of the criticisms we've seen online is, oh my God, they're showing so much, they're spoiling everything. Fair. But also, when you think about the design principle and the systems and everything and the DNA of the studio, I guarantee you we're not showing 100% of any one system even.
Eu falei pra vocês, eles estão escondendo ouro ainda.
We're holding cards too, and I don't.
Claro que estão.
So, and especially like on the story side, like, we're being very, very conscious of not spoiling the single player journey for anyone playing the game.
And do yourself a favor and go to crimsondesert.perlabyss.com. Is that correct? I'm hoping that's correct. I'm on that page.
Just Google Crimson Desert.
Yeah. And go to their media section, and you will be inundated with information and videos and all kinds of stuff. I had no idea there was so much out there already.
Yeah, I mean, there were, let's see, because some of the assets are from when this was a different game.
Tem muita coisa antiga mesmo lá no site da Pearl Abyss. Muitas coisas. Ele tá lá ainda, né, inclusive.
I think that
As primeiras versões do jogo.
4 and forward is fair. So we released 50 minutes of B-roll from then. We released so at that point, and this has changed, so don't definitively look at any gameplay and say this is going to be the one-to-one experience of when I play the game. That's not fair to do for any game, and as a publisher, you wouldn't want to do that because you'd ruin it for everyone else. But we want to give you a taste. So 50 minutes of B-roll from early game there. There's probably, once we did another 30 minutes with IGN first. There are hours of actual gameplay out there. And then we released a whole almost chapter of the game as part of Summer Game Fest and Gamescom and TGS and PAX West. So that was so there's content from that chapter. Not the whole thing because we had to edit it down so people could actually play it, but there's there's dozens of hours of actual gameplay out there on the internet, and that's only a small percentage of the game itself,
Aham.
which is crazy to say.
Moving to a different tack. Personally, I like games that have, I don't know, I'm just gonna say like a D&D term, like a charisma stat. Like
Sure.
as far as like talking to other people,
Isso é legal mesmo.
stuff like that.
Também acho massa.
Do you have like I just want to talk about like RPG dialogue stuff. Like, is there dialogue choices? Is there like a wheel that you choose from?
Mas a gente já sabe que não vai ter, né? A opção de diálogo ela é totalmente linear, não vai ter escolha nenhuma no jogo.
Do your choices matter? Is it more linear? Like, talk about like the RPG.
How much RPG is in
Yeah.
this not RPG?
And I think that
no, I love that shit.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you.
That's one of the areas where this is really not an RPG.
Okay.
Because it's so character choice in terms of interaction with NPCs and stuff, especially like main storyline. Those decisions are fixed. This is a fixed main story that you're progressing through. The
Okay.
RPG and the character choice elements come from how you create your character and and like what sort of build and like what sort of play style that you are actually RPing as your specific character within the world, not necessarily dialogue wheel choices. So, do I do this? Do I help them? How did I approach this specific situation? Did I kill the guy and get the item? Did I buy it from him? Did I sneak in? Like, there are choices that you can make, but it's not a dialogue.
Isso eu já falei no outro vídeo também, né, pessoal? As escolhas que a gente faz aqui dentro do jogo é muito mais de parte de interação, de como a gente vai reagir a certas coisas, do que escolher os diálogos dentro do jogo que já são pré-definidos, né? Essa questão toda da história ela já tá pré-definida, mas a gente vai ter essas decisões com o mundo, né, que podem afetar uma outra coisa dentro da gameplay.
And like,
I
but
was curious if
ultimately,
there was like, you know,
Yeah.
wheedling and convincing and charming, and that brings up another question as far as romance goes.
there are
like,
no like individual like charisma or like you have stat points, not skill points. So like you have your HP, you have your stamina, and you have your mana, and you have your MP. That you can dump things in, like the core pillars of like the character that you're building, and then you
Okay.
have individual like skills within that that you can unlock. But it's not within that. It's not D&D. Like,
Okay.
this is you're not rolling you're not doing a dex saving roll.
Cool. I'm fine with that. I was just curious, like how much charm I would need if necessary.
Yeah, I mean, this like there are whether it's Ultima, whether it's Baldur's, like there are a multitude of different games built on the D&D system. This is not built on the D&D.
Uhum.
Right.
In terms of the size, we've heard many times kind of how vast and large this experience is. What kind of gameplay time are you guys ballparking? And I mean like very ballparking. But like, is this a 30-hour game or is this like a 100-hour game?
Sei lá, primeira semana, quem não tiver com 1000 horas na primeira semana não tá Crimson desertizado, mano. Pelo amor de Deus.
You're going to spend a lot of time in this world. I'm going to do the thing where I will refuse to give an hour. I will be consistent in my response on that one, and that's I'll explain it though, like just because there's no answer I can give that will make people happy. And if I give a large number, then that'll scare away the people that don't have a lot of time. If I give like the crit path number, then there might be some people that are just like, oh my God, well, I'm going to do an hours per dollar gameplay calculation, and that's not enough for me. So there's no answer that I can give that's going to be that's going to be acceptable to everyone. So I'm just refusing to give an answer. The game's big. This is a big game, and I think that the one caveat I want to put there is this doesn't require like 4, 5, 6 hour time sessions if you want to have fun in the world. That's something that's been unique for me in the several hundred hours that I've played it across multiple builds. So don't read into that, internet. Um, so I can have 1 hour and still have a lot of fun. I'm choosing what I want to do. Do I want to progress the main storyline? Do I want to progress side quests? Do I want to mine and find resources? Do I want to just explore the open world? I can have a lot of fun no matter how much time that I have to play the game.
Isso é legal e entra naquela questão que eu falei, né, pessoal? Vai ter vários jeitos de, tipo assim, você vai conseguir fazer várias sessões do Crimson Desert, né? Então você vai, tipo assim, pô, vou fazer uma sessão de 10 minutos. Vou entrar no mundo, dar uma explorada e depois tem que, sei lá, horário de almoço, por exemplo. Vou conseguir jogar 10, 15, 20 minutos no máximo. Vai dar pra entrar ali, dar uma jogadinha de boa, sair na hora que eu voltar. De noite, sei lá, no meio do dia, se pintar um tempo, eu jogo 1 hora, jogo 2 horas, jogo mais 30 minutos. Então vai ter vários estilos de sessões de gameplay do jogo, né? Que a gente vai poder se divertir mesmo com pouco ou muito tempo aqui dentro do game.
That's actually, sad to say, pretty unique in an open world game to be able to have that choice about length of gameplay, because a lot of times they require a specific amount of time investment to even get into the world.
Okay. So you're saying the main story is drastically short, but you have the side quest, you can do it.
Filho da mãe, cara.
Okay. So I take that answer and I'll go, okay, but I'm like, so how long's the main story? How long's total exploration? How long? No, but it's,
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. From a marketing perspective, that answer makes a whole lot of sense. It doesn't.
But it's not even. It's not even within that. It's like no one plays Crit Path. So like we showed in this latest feature, we showed the quiet moments. We showed the life skills. We showed if you want to really invest, you can do farming in your camp.
Total, pô.
And you can raise the crops and raise the animals that then you can slaughter and harvest to turn into food to feed you. If you want, you can very easily spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours in this game. But that's all player choice. Does that mean that that's a requirement in order to play this game? No. Are the systems there in order to allow for that? Oh my God, yes. We've built a world, not a game. I go back to that.
Caraca, aí você falou uma frase forte, hein?
If you want to, there are
Gostei.
systems that are set up to allow you to just spend time here.
So
Gostei.
on that note, in a quick two-parter, how does the day-night cycle work? And is there a global time thing that's also moving forward? Are we going to see seasons and stuff?
Day-night. So there is a day-night system in the game. I don't want to say a specific number because I don't know if it's changed. It's changed multiple times, but I don't want to say it's 1 second per minute. But there is a global day-night cycle for the game, which is actually really cool, especially at night, because it's also.
À noite vai ser bem bonito esse jogo mesmo.
You see, not the Milky Way because this isn't Earth, but you see what would be akin to the Milky Way moving and panning through the sky. The game has that attention to detail. It's really, really gorgeous. And then things like altitude come into play when it comes to weather. It comes to things like that. So day-night cycle matters in more than cosmetics, which is cool. There aren't seasons in the game, to my knowledge. I'm gonna say no. I haven't seen them in my experience, but as we all know, sometimes devs put things in the game that not everyone knows about. But I haven't seen them.
It does look like there's biomes, though.
Oh yeah, totally. So
É isso que eu ia falar, né? Não tem as estações, mas cada bioma é de uma maneira, né? Então a gente vê um bioma mais florestas, a gente tem um bioma do deserto, a gente tem um bioma que é aquelas montanhas de gelo também, né? Onde tem neve. Então, não tem as estações dentro do jogo, mas tem esses biomas que meio que simulam algumas estações, né? Por exemplo.
Like it's not you progress to day 30. It's not Stardew Valley, where day 30 and then you're into autumn.
Caraca, gostei da referência do Stardew Valley, gostei.
You're into like
Right.
it's not that by any means. There's a day-night cycle that changes things, but beyond that, then there's not, okay, I've spent 30 days, now I'm into like another season. The biomes or the regions
Uhum.
look drastically different. And that becomes really cool because it feels like you've progressed when you're in a different area. So Paloon, which is the home of the Gray Mains, like you see there's a lot more, it looks like there's a lot more reds and redwood in that area. Like from a color scheme standpoint, the fauna is different in those regions. Like so you see the devs have made these bespoke in terms of the nature of the fauna, the animals, the NPCs, like that are within those regions to make them feel like different regions, feel like different
Uhum.
cultures.
Total.
It's all to make like this be a world that feels like a world. And when you go back to the DNA of the studio of creating these worlds, like that are meant to spend all this amount of time in, it starts to make sense. So that's whenever anyone says like there are so many systems or there's so many things, like how can this work? It's like just look at what the devs know. Look at the heritage there, and they're taking that and applying to this single player experience.
You mentioned
Isso é legal também que ele falou.
biomes and whatnot. Is there any underwater stuff like points?
Finalmente alguém perguntou o que eu queria saber.
of interest, or can you
Nothing
swim
that we've
underwater? Okay.
Nothing that we've talked about so far. So
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
there are like, and this is gonna piss off our Discord who's been hammering me for this one. There are ships in the game. You can go to them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you if you can sail them or not, but you can go to them.
Seu canalha, o Powers, você prometeu, Powers, você prometeu, cara. Tem que ter como andar de navio e explorar o oceano, cara. Impossível não ter como. Impossível.
There you go.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of questions about sailing
yeah,
and
yeah.
low and
Turns
high
out-
tides and all this stuff.
Yeah, well,
They
that's-
all have super anchors. Oh man,
Yeah.
bummer.
that's their own fault. They spelled naval wrong when they asked the question.
Oh my.
Hey, spelling mistakes are easy. Zeke knows all about it. You know.
Real quick,
it happens.
before we move too far from kind of the world immersion, weather. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the weather system and how that kind of works in the game?
Yeah, it's dynamic. It calculates based on the weather patterns in the world, and as well as the temperature. Like if so you see in the B-roll that's happening on the bottom left, like the Celsius temperature right there, that's calculated based on elevation, based on like weather cycles of time of day. And then if the calculations for wind and precipitation like have rain or snow based on that, then you see that be calculated it's all happening in real time. Like this is a really cool thing that is possible because of the engine that the team has made. So all of these things are just happening and being calculated naturally in real time, which makes this feel like a really alive and world that you're interacting and living in.
So the winds are howling.
Yes,
Some
howling
É.
winds. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it depends on. Well, here I'll get into some fun stuff. This is the annoying thing about demoing this game. I can run the same demo. So like at like Summer Game Fest, like we had four stations, and we ran for 3 days, every hour on the hour, like nonstop. So there were like 96 appointments. just back to back, nonstop, no breaks. It calculates the weather and the temperature and everything bespoke every time. So every demo is different.
Yeah.
Caraca.
Like, we're like, oh, we get good weather, we get bad weather. Like, if I wanted to show off the skybox, it's like, oh, well, it's a cloudy day. Crap. So it makes this, like, that's the beauty as a player. But it's the annoying thing as showing off this game is like there's not consistency in the same giving the same demo. And that's one thing that I've seen online is like as the internet does, they'll compare screenshots from the same boss fight or the same thing that we've shown off previously. They're like, oh, the graphics have changed. It's like, actually, that's all of our cutscenes are rendered in engine based on time of day. So that's just lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you can have the same boss encounter and if you do it at night or if you do it during the day, like the lighting is completely
So
different.
it could be like
changes the whole
during the
mood of it.
day, totally clear, or at night when it's pouring rain. Like
Yes,
completely different
100%.
vibes in those
100%.
two encounters.
Da hora.
And that can
Isso é legal.
really influence your perception of that as a player.
Hmm.
Does it have gameplay implications? Probably not. I mean, it might be harder to see at night in certain instances, but is it just cool and atmospheric? Yeah. It's not disruptive and break immersion of changing the time of day to a set time just because you entered a boss fight.
Got it.
So somebody asked a question that I'll ask kind of like the umbrella question. So somebody said,
Sure.
can you increase the the size of the font on the screen? And that's going to lead me to my next question. Like, how is accessibility in this? Like what are you guys?
Vamos ver que ele vai falar sobre o HUD.
Yeah,
How much can we change and everything?
UI, there's a UI slider. I haven't messed with it personally, so I don't want to commit to like how big it can get. I'll mess with that between now and in the next week just to be able to do follow-up questions on it. But yes, there is a way to adjust some of those things. UI being the easy one. You're probably
Yeah,
going to ask
as an older
controls.
gamer, we need bigger chat.
Yeah. So, and I mean, that depends on screen size. If you're having this game on like a 65-inch TV in your living room, that's very different than having it on your 27-inch monitor at your PC or something. So there is a slider for UI that you can adjust based on what your situation is.
Awesome. And fully rebindable controls?
We're talking about that later.
Okay,
That's one of the things that we're leaving for later.
Right.
But
Vai que ele vai responder isso depois, hein? Boa pergunta.
it's on our radar. We'll have a better answer for you before launch.
Ah, então talvez vai ter customização de controles. Olha aí, rapaziada. Coisa linda, hein? Personalizar os controles.
Cool.
That should I just want, not just you, but any dev out there, that should always be. That should just be along with skippable cutscenes, rebindable controls.
There you go.
100% for every game.
So let me talk about it for a second because it becomes a little bit more complicated. That's because this is not an excuse by any means, but it becomes a point of conversation. We've shown off a lot you can do in this game in terms of skill sets and everything. There are only a singular amount of buttons on a gamepad. So then it becomes the devs have worked very, very hard to make these button presses make sense both in and out of combat. So the button for grapple is also the button for grab out of combat. So naturally, like as you're playing this game, your muscle memory will develop. Because of that, there are so many intertwined systems that it becomes very difficult to do just say, let's just rebind that command. Because those systems are tied together.
Que isso pode bagunçar o resto de todos os outros controles, né? Pô, se ele estiver falando, igual ele falou assim, da curva de progressão do jogo, do nosso aprendizado, ser otimizado também dessa maneira, tipo, pô, o botão para pegar uma coisa é o botão que você pega, também usa o agarrão no combate. Então isso é legal. Vai criando memória muscular, igual ele tá falando.
So we're working on it. We're trying to figure out a solution, but it's not as simple as it would be in other games, which is why like we're being a little hesitant about it.
And I gotta be honest, and I gotta confess that I wasn't even thinking about controllers. I really wasn't. Like when I
Cara, sendo bem sincero, eu também não é uma coisa que me preocupa, não.
when I brought up that question, I was not thinking about
Well,
how
but-
many the limited number of buttons on a controller.
Well, Zeke, like, how do you play third-person perspective games? Like, do you play it with a gamepad? Do you play KBM? Like, how do you play?
Well, it honestly depends on the game, but more often than not, controller. And I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
And that's like it. There are a set number of buttons that you have on a controller. Like, so how do you account for that both in and out of combat without completely disrupting the systems that make these buttons make sense both in and out of combat? And that's so we're working on it. We'll have a better answer before launch, but I just
Yeah.
want to explain that it's not as simple as, oh, just turn on the customization button.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I retract the cavalierness that I asked.
Oh,
my
no.
question with.
Well,
I've
yeah,
never
and-
I've been working in this space for 20 years. I've never had this problem. Like this is a new situation, which is why I think it bears a full explanation. We're not being jerks about not allowing customization. We're trying to figure out a way to do it correctly.
Sure. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I was going to say it'd definitely be a very solid direction to make sure. A lot of times it's the things that you may not necessarily think about. Like if somebody cannot physically reach certain buttons and needs to
Yes.
move them so they can play the game, it's one thing for controls to be intuitive. It's another thing to be able to use them at all. So
Yes.
having fully rebindable can be very important for that.
Oh, yeah,
Regardless.
yes.
Yeah.
So
But I see where you're going with your answer too. And we're already running into some similar stuff on our side with that too, where it's like the conjoined stuff. I mean, FromSoft has been characteristically never broken controls in some of those cases because it just doesn't, it's a hard thing to do. So that makes sense.
Right. And accessibility becomes this really difficult topic because if you do it halfway, then you're a jerk to the people that you're leaving out. So but if you don't address it at all, then you're being a jerk to so it's a very, very sensitive topic and we're trying to approach it mindfully is what I can say. We're aware, we're on it, we're trying to have the right answer for it.
That's a great position. That's a lot more than a lot of games take these days. So that's a good position to hold on it for sure. Excellent.
Cool.
Go ahead, JB.
Well, I was going to say, with tons of questions in chat. I will say, from a community perspective, you guys have some pretty diehard fans already. Who are really
you have a
begging.
diehard community.
Yeah, you have a diehard community. Yeah,
Yeah.
Which are really wanting some nitty gritty. So maybe I'll do some lightning round here in just a sec.
Yeah. Well, can you hear me or did my voice?
You're
We can hear you
perfectly
just
fine. Voice
Yeah.
is
Okay,
perfect.
perfect.
The audio, as long as you are still broadcasting, we will hear your audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I want to go back to what I said at the very beginning is that this had been almost a secret. Like it had been like this thing that was under wraps and we were being very calculated about the little things that we were putting out for the longest time. And there's been an abrupt shift, probably January of this year. So within the last 60 days of just transparency of we're ready to talk.
Yeah.
And we're saying everything. We're ready to fully address. I don't think a lot of people and a lot of communities have experienced that.
Total, pô.
Just the transparency, but the shift is so dramatic that it becomes almost a thing in its own. And that's, in a very positive way, that's evangelized the community around this game of they're making the game, their words, they're making the game that we want, and they're answering all of our questions, which I'm glad that that's seen, because that's what we're trying to do. Because from a DNA of a studio standpoint, again, so we come from a live service heritage. So without our fans, we are nothing as a studio. So that's like addressing, and like we're doing this for the fans.
Pô, e ele falar isso, galera, é o que me deixa assim, com a certeza que esse jogo vai ser o que eles estão falando e ponto, velho. Não tem como não ser o jogo que eles estão mostrando pra gente. Tem muita gente em dúvida ainda, tipo, às vezes eu leio comentário, tipo assim, pô, mas será que vai ser tudo isso mesmo? Será que isso tudo aí vai dar certo? Cara, não tem como não dar certo, cara. De verdade, eu tô bem otimista. Eu já tô, assim, explodindo de hype, igual o pessoal aqui do canal tá também. Mas, igual ele tá falando, pô, essa decisão de vir a público, de falar sobre o jogo, de responder as pessoas, dele vir em entrevistas, responder dúvidas e perguntas do pessoal e dar detalhes sobre o game, a gente vê muita coisa, né? E igual ele tá citando, não é todas as desenvolvedoras, todas as publicadoras dos games, né, que fazem isso também, né, pessoal? Então, assim, é uma posição bem legal que eles tomaram. Eu achei que essa transparência com a gente de conversar sobre o jogo, de falar mais sobre o game, né? Não ir soltando as coisas soltas e a gente ficar à mercê disso é muito legal, é muito positivo. Eu acho que tá fazendo. É a coisa que faz o jogo ser o que ele é hoje, né? Pô, se expandiu demais. Muita gente tá chegando conhecendo agora o Crimson Desert, muita gente já tava acompanhando, mas quem chegou agora, cara, tem um prato recheado assim de informações e gameplays, igual a gente tá falando, igual a gente reagiu no canal, tem várias entrevistas aqui, tudo completo pra vocês também, só acompanhar na playlist aqui embaixo. Então, assim, eu fico bem feliz por esse posicionamento por parte da empresa também. E espero que os próximos lançamentos, os próximos jogos, até os próximos jogos da empresa também continuem fazendo isso, né, pessoal? Que eles venham ao público, falem sobre o jogo, mostrem pra gente como é que tá o jogo, falem um pouco mais aprofundado sobre sistemas e essas outras questões que a gente gosta de saber, né? Então eu fico bem feliz por causa disso e por ele estar dando essa resposta também.
Becomes incredibly important. So that's always like kind of at the root of the decisions and the choices that we're making and how we're communicating. So I think that this really inspired a community that rallies around us, and it's nice to have their support, to be honest.
Tamo junto, meu amigão. Pessoal, Will Powers.
Deke, you're gonna
I'm
ask something.
still not answering all your questions, community.
Yeah, and somebody pointed this out. Somebody at the beginning was like, I thought Will was going to answer every single question. He said we could ask any question. He didn't say he would answer every question.
Yes.
Those are two different things.
And also, like with a game like this, and with as fervent of a community as it has, there's going to be too many questions. There's going to be such a thing
some
as
stuff
like
you don't want to answer. Sometimes.
Well, and also shit that's been answered, 100 times before that keeps getting brought up because no one bothers to look to see if it's been answered.
But like the community is really good, like about directing to and knowing what information is out there. The difficulty becomes when things had been said from official channels previously and are no longer accurate. I think a lot of those things have been corrected. Like there's a very small subset of people that still think the game's MMORPG. Like, that's a new challenge, correcting information that, well, because it was accurate. That was the case. And so, and I think that's the beauty, is some of those things, because of that, built the systems that make this game so unique. Without that heritage, then I don't think there would be all these systems and all these things that make people say, I've never seen a game like this. That's why.
Quick, speaking of which, this is purely single player, right? Did you guys bring
purely
any
single
of the...
player?
Okay, cool. So there's no like, okay, good.
This is a purely single player game.
Very cool.
I would say that on the investor call last week, they said that they would investigate potential stuff post-launch if it made sense, but there is no multiplayer elements that are being developed at this moment.
Neste momento, Will Powers.
They will be investigated post-launch.
É claro. Cara, é assim, é um escopo muito grande. Eu acho que tem uma base extremamente muito boa para esse jogo ter pelo menos um modo cooperativo, igual a gente vê, por exemplo, no Elden Ring, no Dark Souls, só que de uma maneira melhor, né, pessoal? Isso ser feito de uma maneira melhor, né, que esses outros jogos. Mas tem muito potencial para ter multiplayer esse jogo. Se a empresa não fizer, os modders vão fazer. Então, assim, vocês que sabem aí, vocês se decidem, porque vai ter.
There is nothing we are holding back from the launch of this game for 30, 60-day content like that. We are putting everything into launch.
Cool.
Also, I'm not sure why the Crimson Desert community has this fascination with water. I look over in YouTube. Ask him why the mech suit looks like a diving suit. Ask him.
I don't know. Like, it's because bathyspheres are cool. Like, I don't know.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Big Daddy influence. That's right.
Yeah.
Some
It's like-
let's do a little lightning round. I've collected a handful of stuff here.
let's
that-
go.
I have a few of my own.
Yeah,
Wow.
it'd be like yes or no answers. Dungeons. Are there caves that I can explore? How deep? How like expansive is that? Yes, no.
There's tons of hidden corners in the world.
Okay.
There's tons of stuff. I don't want to say like dungeons because that evokes certain like depth and like monsters, and like there are a lot of hidden places in the world that are outside of eyeshot if you're just staying on the surface.
Okay. Is there like a hunting system? We saw like some camouflage elements in some of
Yeah.
the stuff that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vai ter esse aí, a gente viu também.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are different stats and different perks for different types of armor. Like that was like a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that it would scare away some hunting beasts less.
Well, don't scare away my dog, Will. Please.
Quick little side question. Do you guys fully track all of the different things in the world? Like if someone wants to do like 100% where they make sure they've hit every spot, like is this the kind of thing where you can open a world map and see like 0 of 12 dungeons, or is there any system to kind of flag the player that they're finished with an area or a region?
Yes. I'm being a little cautious of that answer. It's like it's not on the map. There's no check mark that goes on the map or stuff. But in your journal and quest progression, you can see based on region, based on
Legal.
action and
Dá
house,
pra ver a progressão também da região.
quests, whether or not you still have quests to unlock within that house, whether or not there's more. So there is a way to tell, but it's not like by just graying out or like checking off the region within your map.
Cool. Can you fight fully unarmed?
Sure, just unequip your sword.
Okay.
Da hora.
Wait, follow up. Does it work fighting unarmed in this game?
You can, yeah. There's an unarmed power stat like on your skill,
go.
like
Okay, cool.
about like how much damage it does. So you can. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Okay.
Based on
Can you
the
dual wield?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. We showed it off on the trailer features video 2 for the first time. So that hadn't been shown off before that.
Cool. So Steam says 135 gigs needed for the install.
Yep.
Is that suggestion? Is that file size? Like what? How big's the file size going to be for install? Have you guys said exactly? Is it 135 and that's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because this is a seamless open world, the file size needs to be fairly large in order to have the world and to like have it not load. So a lot of that file size is the world
Okay.
itself.
Gotcha.
So that's why you're seeing that. It's because of the size and scale of the map itself.
Gotcha. Can you disable screen shake? Kind of going back to accessibility.
That was one of mine. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great.
Isso ele já tinha respondido.
Is there a gear transmog system to where like if you want to always
Define.
look a certain way, but you want to wear the better quote
Isso é legal também. Isso eu acho interessante.
of gear that gives you the stats you want, can you wear that and still appear one way?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. That doesn't mean it's not in the game.
Sure.
So anything I'm not sure about,
É aquela parada de usar a skin do equipamento em outro equipamento. Tipo assim, pô, peguei uma armadura muito foda. Mas tem uma outra melhor, só que eu gosto da aparência da antiga. Eu vou lá e só troco a skin dela. Eu tô com aquela armadura equipada, mas a skin daquela armadura é a skin da antiga.
like I want to caveat that. Like it's personally I don't know. I haven't seen it. It doesn't mean that it won't be added to the game, but it just as of this point, I have not seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a major amount of importance for a minor amount of people how much fashion you can do.
Look, Will,
could do
I
a
want to
ton of that,
fucking
like,
slay if I'm out there slaying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
true.
you wanna
More
slay or
importantly,
stand. I get you.
I don't want to be a badass while looking like a clown.
So I want you to. So you're on the feature video 3 right now.
There was a
to
die
the-
system. Yeah, if that's what
Yeah,
you're
you go to
referencing.
that. Go to that
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Let's just talk about that screen. There you.
There it is, right there. Yep.
That's hair dye. Go to the armor dye. It's right after this.
Aí.
Yeah.
There you go.
So pause right there. You see the different armors on the left,
Mhm.
right? So and then parts of the individual armor. This isn't like this is chain and I don't want to be definitive and universal of like every element of every piece, but this is not just like change your shirt to blue. It's what part of the shirt, what color. Like this is a very, very deep
Isso é doideira mesmo.
customization standpoint for majority of items in the game. So
Cool.
this is
I got to be honest.
see-
If this system is this advanced and there's not a transmog system, I would be almost surprised. Like, good God, this is
well. That's the
yeah,
thing
this
is like
wild.
so
Also, the armor sets are gorgeous. I have to
yeah,
Então mesmo.
because of the detail of this, it like I don't know to be honest. Like I think that they want you to customize the gear that you're wearing.
Mm.
If I were to take a guess, rather than have person look universally the same. But I think that's I just want to lean into the amount of like there is a ton of customization within the individual elements, like the pieces of the gear and the individual colors of it. Like there's a way to make the character your own, and that's from gear, from facial tattoos, from
Isso é legal.
style, all of those things. Like make that your character. This is a set protagonist. Make them your own.
Cool. Someone was asking about the like marketing path. I'm sure there's more updates all the way up until release. You guys are kind of saving stuff so it's in the conversation week after
I
week.
don't understand why the community keeps asking that question. Why would I tell them what we're doing for marketing standpoint? And it's not to talk.
Well, it's like I feel like
Will, they have to start writing their Reddit posts and tweets, man.
Yeah,
like, this
no,
stuff
but,
takes
like,
time.
This is a weird thing. Like I've never like again, like I've worked in games for almost 20 years. I've never had someone ask me what I'm doing next for marketing.
it is a weird
This
thing.
is when you find out. It's like, who's asking that? Oh, I work marketing at a different company.
Yeah,
This has been going
like,
really
why would
well,
I-
and I'd like to
Why
know what
would
you're
I
doing.
allow us to be T-boned? Like
Yeah,
it
is kind
there's
of like the
mount-
evolution of a fan. I feel like in today's day and age,
Yeah.
right? Where
like
they're
there's Mouse
keen on this
PI
stuff.
coming out on our date, which I'm gonna play as well. Like, why am I gonna tell them what I'm gonna do for marketing?
Yeah.
Just be like, I will give you your answer a little bit each day up until release.
Well,
I'll give
I
you a
mean-
letter a day.
Just watch.
And
Yeah,
also,
you
like,
can just
also
watch me work.
marketing means very different things to different people.
Sure, that's
Like,
true. Yeah.
And I think that's where it's like, okay, these are effectively these are community pieces we've been releasing. Like marketing is like means like putting money behind assets and like really expanding the audience. So I'm definitely not telling what we're doing there, like how we're spending our money.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a concern that we're not releasing anything else, which I'll just point to, like, we have our creator and our media event at the end of the month.
Legal.
We've announced that we're doing globally in multiple regions. That like stuff will come out of that.
Cool.
So
You could also go on podcasts and talk about the game and answer a bunch of questions.
That is
No,
true. That might be a
no.
thing. You
My
can do.
internet's trying to prevent me from doing that. So.
Yeah. That's also true. Let's see. I like it. Are there any different dragon types, or is it just a dragon? Dragon
How much can you
customization?
customize it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the game.
Can I armor
Sorry,
it?
like,
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Play the
Like,
game.
sorry about that. Like, but
I like. Someone in my
Like-
chat said, "Can you play Gwent?"
Não, calma aí, cara. Peraí. Calma aí, cara. O que que foi o... Não, de verdade. Esse cara, mano, que perguntou no chat se dava pra jogar Gwent. Ai, meu Deus do céu. Modders, por favor, é com vocês.
Jesus Christ.
Ai,
we just showed game.
passei mal, velho.
Yeah, there's some gambling. There's some gambling.
No, I think he
Well,
said.
that
He
checks
actually did
a
say.
question off of my lightning round.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I think he actually was saying, is there like, are there Gwent style games in it? But I think we just saw that earlier.
Ai, Jesus.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, there's a ton of different mini games, including
Lots of
there's,
gambling. Yes.
There's gambling.
Tá lá no final.
There will be fun games that and it's not. This isn't Texas Hold'em or anything like that. I think that this will be games that a lot of people will experience for the first time. So
Now, here's a really important one. Can you romance the
I was just about to
dragons?
read that from the Steven.
Yeah.
I swear this is coming from the New Game Plus showcase that we did, where the first question I got asked was by Luality,
Yeah.
and it was
Aqui, ó. Ela perguntou isso mesmo.
put the dragons in the game.
That's, yeah. You know, that checks
So
out.
that was already answered. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, well, I gave him a non-answer. I said I said you can form a relationship. I don't know if it's the one you want though.
Very true. That's some director of marketing, not a marketing. Right
You
there.
can ride the dragons. Read into that however you want.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Whoa.
Fair enough.
Meu Deus do céu, cara.
All my I got the answers.
Scaly's going wild right
I
now.
wanted. Yeah.
I have a few.
Okay,
I have
go
a
ahead.
few.
Yeah.
Someone asked as far as if you get a hard copy on console, is it online only or can you play it offline?
That goes back to like the kind of the de novo question and stuff that I just don't I don't know. So I don't
Okay.
feel comfortable giving a definitive answer to that one.
Okay.
I would say, and this is something
Eu acho que não vai precisar de internet, não. Vai dar pra jogar offline.
by communities, so I want to take a second here. Update the game. Like if you get a hard copy, please patch the game. Like in order to create hard copies of the game, like you have to print those weeks before release, and then the developers spend weeks continuing to make the game better.
Uhum.
Please
Not like
don't
back
do
in the day.
yourself
Yeah.
yeah,
No
don't do
longer
yourself
gold
a
disc.
disservice like and not update the game. So please do that. So
Okay.
with that sense, online required in order to have the best experience. But from a DRM standpoint, I just don't know the answer.
Cool.
Fishing? Question mark?
Yeah, we saw.
yeah.
We saw some.
Oh,
of that.
yes.
These are a lot of these are just gonna be yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a person. This is a personal question that I wanted to answer. I
You
am
are
a
a
person
society?
who likes. I am a human man. No, I'm a person who likes the option whether to do melee or ranged combat. Like, is there like, can I just do full on range? Is there magic, like mage-ish kind of things? Maybe just even like alchemy, like fire bombs and stuff or something.
Yeah, I don't want to say like mage build again
Okay.
because of like not classes
Right,
purely, but
right.
from a skill and unlockable I want to say like tactics more and like move
Sure.
set standpoint.
Right.
You can unlock a lot of range stuff
Okay.
to make like a range.
Eu acho que é mais uma... Não vai ter, tipo assim, mago de você castar as coisas, mas tem como lançar os feitiços, né? Ou imbuir, por exemplo. Vou imbuir uma flecha com trovão. Vou imbuir uma flecha com gelo, né? Eu acho que vai ter como fazer isso.
Pretty viable. But then like if you have a boss arena that's close quarters, like you might have pigeonholed yourself a little bit there. So
Oh yes, I'm aware. That's something that I've
yeah,
had to deal with throughout my action adventure gameplay, where you get
yeah,
in a small arena with a big guy and you're like kind of screwed. But there's ways around it. It's fine. I just want to know
yeah.
if you could do range build, and that's you answer my question.
You can 100% do range build. Does that carry you through everything? And should you like fully lean into that for all situations? No. Variety is the spice of life.
Okay, shut up. Anyways, let's see. Oh, stamina bar. Well, how is stamina calculated or whatever in this game?
Sure. There's a little GUI interface. Sorry, ATM machine there. There's a little GUI right next to you. And that's your stamina bar. You use those abyss artifacts, unlock more stamina.
Okay.
And that one right there. Yeah. And your attacks, your blocks, like your rolls, everything like kind of plays into that. This is where like the arcade fighting style references like really come into play, where it's a little bit of a dance between your aggression and your defense, managing the stamina about how you go about encounters. So
Okay.
boss fights specifically like lean into that sort of FGC and like arcade style heritage about
Mhm.
how you're dancing around that.
Okay. Another side question to that. Is there a stamina bar outside of combat? Like, can I just run forever if I want to?
Isso é legal.
Currently.
Okay.
So it's the same. I understand the question. I understand why people are asking the question. Currently there is.
Yeah. Okay.
É, igual no Zelda, né? Mas a questão também da estamina que ele tava falando no meio do combate, a gente já viu que ela vai conseguir ser recuperada se a gente der um dodge ou fazer um bloqueio perfeito, pelo que eu vi em algumas gameplays, que era recuperada quando você fazia isso, né? Então tem esse sistema que ela vai acabando, mas você pode recuperar a própria estamina no meio do combate. Isso é da hora.
I'd rather there not be. Just
Just throwing that out there.
duly noted.
I'm
I'd
saying
also
I
like to not get take any
understand
damage
why.
when hit. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
You have a horse, and your horse can run faster.
Okay. There you go. Okay. Cool. Is everything voice acted? Like, is it 100% voice acted? I mean, obviously not books and stuff, but like,
I'm going to. Well, I mean, I'll not talk shit about other games. I will.
Whoa.
All of our voice acting is by humans.
Da hora.
Got it. Okay.
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 So,
okay.
So like I'm pulling back from saying that 100% of all NPCs are 100% voice acted and everything, just because I'm categorically making the decision of not saying 100% on anything,
Right.
so that if one NPC isn't voice acted, then I'm not a liar on the internet. But like, yes, voice acting for all mainline NPC is the main like sideline or side quest NPCs. Like there is voice acting in the game across multiple languages, Korean, English, Chinese, I think right now, but
Wow, okay.
13 different text localization, or I think more than that. Look at our Steam page. We're
It's there.
available across a ton of different languages, with full localization as well as text localization. It is
That's awesome.
a massive undertaking to localize a project like this, just because the sheer breadth of it. So like communities that aren't listed in there that are asking for localization, I'm not ignoring you. It's just not my decision. It's a huge undertaking that takes a long time, and we'd rather release the game than delay it.
Okay. A few people are asking about a demo. Just curious.
I'm gonna give the same answer. This is a hard game to demo. It goes back to like
Sure.
zero
A gente já discutiu isso aqui também no canal, pessoal. Bem difícil mesmo ter uma demo, porque eles pode se complicar por causa da demo, né?
The world have played this game without Pearl Abyss staff present next to it.
Gotcha.
And that's because the demo builds that we've put out there aren't standalone demos. They are save states of the game or like instances of bosses, which bosses aren't representative of the game as you're seeing as a whole. Like this, if I'm calling this an open world game and we're doing a boss fight demo,
Mhm.
then that's not representative of the main thing that we're saying the game is, which is open world. So I
No, I get it,
I
dude. It's like having a 13-course meal and giving you an apple. It's like that's all we can like. We can only give you so much.
yeah. So it's like I understand the need for it. I understand the ask for it. The ask for it. We're not ignoring that. What I can say is this. We are going to get the game in as many people's hands that are authoritative figures that should be representative of what the experience is like before launch, and we are going to release performance.
Podia mandar uma copiazinha aqui pra nós, né, meu Powers? Ou só liberar minha pré-venda aí pra mim jogar antes, né? Ia trazer um videozão aqui, né? Naquele modelão, né? Pensa aí, meu amigão. Qualquer coisa você me dá um salve no zap.
Performance numbers. So between the two of those, I hope that fully answers your expectations and what the game is.
Cool.
Bet.
So that's what we can do because like the amount of dev work to create a standalone demo, like I don't even know where we would even start with what point of the game which would be representative of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. And last question, just a minor. Is there like armor and weapon durability in the game? Please say no.
Well, I would say if you're spending that much time customizing it, I would hope you at least
this is where old things have been on the internet. This is a thing that was in the game.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
So this is where like, and certain tools and certain singular use items still have that, but durability for your primary weapons and your unique weapons is not a thing.
Boa.
Okay, good.
Gostei.
Yeah.
Gostei. Gosto disso. Igual eu falei no outro vídeo, né? A gente vai ter, então, alguns equipamentos que vão ter durabilidade mesmo, eles vão quebrar, e outros itens únicos que não vão quebrar.
So like this,
Great.
and let me define, like, if you have a pickaxe, if you have like a smithing hammer, if you have like a logging axe, like some of those utility items, I believe still have durability because you can make multiple of those. Like it's a thing. And then like I don't want to, I'm trying not to give away things that we haven't shown.
Yeah.
There are certain like item drops that are like singular use from like mob enemies
Sure.
that also still have durability. So
Sure. Yeah.
durability is in the game. It's not on your
Or
primary
you get to use
weapon.
it like 5 times.
Yeah. So
Something
it's
like that,
that is
No,
those screenshots that have durability on your primary weapon are old and outdated.
Okay.
So
No,
one thing-
I hate being in the middle of a battle and like you're not paying too much attention and it
You will not experience
you have
that.
like
Your
3
weapon,
swings
your
left.
weapon will not break. You're good.
Okay, good. That's all I care about.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, no, you're good. That is not a thing.
Excellent.
So it is becoming very clear that this sandbox is going to be from the veneer, from the looks of it, like there's going to be more to do in this sandbox than most. And I know for many people, the next question in their mind is going to be, can I get in there and mod this? Is that something
Boa pergunta.
or considered? Like this sandbox looks incredible.
We've gotten that question a lot, and I don't have a good answer for that. And let me walk you through the reason why I don't have a good answer. Because again, like I don't want to give like no or yes, like without thought process. I think that like the reasoning is incredibly important to have people understand like the approach we're taking as a studio. Again, going back to our DNA comes from live service multiplayer. Like that, we can't allow that in that space. So historically, this has never even been a conversation at the studio. So I think that it makes sense specifically for the PC audience, and we need to have those conversations about what it looks like post launch. But I can't guarantee our stance of where we're going to end up from a studio standpoint on whether we're fully supportive of PC modding, because I don't know. I know historically where we have been because of that live service standpoint, but this is a different conversation, and I don't think we've fully had it yet.
É porque é aquilo, né, pessoal? Eu acho que vai seguir um modelo mais ou menos igual seguiu o The Witcher, de que o jogo ainda tem muita possibilidade. A gente não sabe, assim, direito das coisas, de todas as coisas que vão ter no jogo, né? Mas o jogo tem uma ótima base para ter vários outros conteúdos adicionais, né? Para serem feitos, serem DLCs e tudo mais. Então, assim, é um jogo que tem muito potencial para isso acontecer. Mas mais para frente, igual a CD Projekt Red fez, que fez aquela ferramenta ali para você conseguir modar o The Witcher 3, por exemplo, soltou isso depois de anos depois. Isso quando eles tipo já pararam depois que foi lançado Blood and Wine, né? Foi a última DLC do jogo. Aí depois de um tempo eles soltaram essa ferramenta para deixar ainda o jogo tendo essa longevidade, né? A própria comunidade ir atualizando o jogo. E a gente tem informações que parece que vai ser uma nova DLC também do The Witcher, que vai ser para dar sequência para a gente entrar no The Witcher 4, né? Então, assim, eu enxergo que esse posicionamento da empresa, por enquanto, talvez isso não vai acontecer mesmo, porque eles mesmos querem atualizar o jogo, né? Eu acho que eles vão fazer isso, igual, por exemplo, eles já falam muito desse DNA da empresa, né? Pô, Black Desert teve várias atualizações desde que foi lançado, né? Isso pode acontecer também com o Crimson Desert. Eles podem trazer conteúdos adicionais, podem trazer DLCs. Não só falo de história e tudo mais, como, sei lá, pacote de armas, de armaduras, adicionar mais montarias, outras coisas que vão agregando e somando pro mundo, né? Eles têm essa entrega do Crimson Desert dia 19 de março, mas não quer dizer que o jogo está finalizado, entre aspas, né? Tem várias outras possibilidades, ainda mais por se tratar de um sandbox que a própria empresa pode fazer. E depois, quando tiver acabado as ideias, né? Vamos colocar assim, porque é um jogo que tem muita possibilidade, eles podem abrir para a comunidade fazerem suas próprias modificações. E eu acho que isso vai aumentar demais a longevidade do game. Ele vai durar muitos anos, anos e anos ainda.
Will, you would make the best politician. You're so.
I think
I heard everything. That makes
it's
perfect sense.
incredibly important to like. I don't want to say no. I don't like, nor do I even know the answer. Like, it's not fully up to me. I want to walk everyone through the reasoning of the conversation, so that you can understand where we're coming from as well.
It's contextualizing it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly contextual, and that's important because it's not an easy decision. And if we open up for this, then okay, well, then okay, well, they can do it for this game. Well, they can do it for the other game too, like in certain ways. Like, so it's a little bit of Pandora's box in a sense. And I don't know, candidly. So there is enough content to last you at launch, and let's revisit this conversation after launch, and we can see, because personally, I don't hate the idea of modding, but
Você tá prometendo, meu Powers, você tá prometendo.
does it make sense for this game, or have we added enough features to allow for someone to do that, or do you just want to play as Shrek in this world? I don't know.
O que eu falei? Primeiro mod, CJ Shrek, é isso.
I mean, Shrek would be kind of cool. Will, are we doing Shrek collabs?
Yeah. We've shown
you DreamWorks now 1-in-1.
I just wanted to return to the question about the dragon, and we'll just.
Can I be a donkey? Will,
you can carry the donkeys. Shrek can carry the donkeys.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All right. Fair enough.
But
fair
that's
enough.
so let's go here. At launch, we want to convey the developer's vision.
Cool. Perfect.
If the community demands this and really wants us post-launch, let's take it up. Let's have a conversation.
Cool.
Ele tá prometendo, galera.
But I will do final questions if Ko or Zeke have any. I feel like we've kind of thrown everything at you so far.
Yeah.
So
I'll start, man. So first of all, just really appreciate it. I mean, you did answer pretty much every single question, and it's very clear you said pretty much everything you could. So really appreciate the transparency. That is awesome. I have known you for a while, and I've worked with you on many different projects. You seem palpably more excited about this one. Like this, there's a lot in this. What is the biggest? What is one or two of the biggest things about this that stand out to you? Like this is different.
Well, I've worked on really fun things. Like I don't want to like, and I don't want to like. There's a couple of things like behind me that like this is my history of my career shelf like behind me. Like I've worked on really cool things. There's something about launching a new IP. They're like, and that just is really, really fun. Like not to say like working on God of War isn't fun. Like working on God of War was super cool. But when you're working on an established IP, you have things that you can't do or have to do because that is the brand. There is no brand Bible. Like for this, we're creating it in real time and we're establishing what this game is. And that allows from my seat, it allows for creative freedom. I don't make the games. So the impact that I can have in my seat is around generating excitement and getting people excited about the game. From a new IP, this is me as a kid in a candy store. And from a historic standpoint, like the game I have the most time in the world on is Ultima Online. Like I have put tens of thousands of hours into that game. And
Good man.
this is like, so this is like,
Nunca joguei Ultima.
And in the sense of like, there's risk, reward, there's exploration. Like, so oftentimes you're not working on a project that aligns with your particular palette. Doesn't mean it's not good, but this is a new IP that is also a game that I enjoy playing. And I play it at work because I have to, because from my standpoint, in order to talk about things, I talk about them from my own experience, because that's the only way that it's universally true, is when I did this in the game, this is how I felt. This is what it meant. This is one of those games that I keep finding myself wanting to come back to, which is rare. There are some games that when you launch them and you're like, I don't want to play that game at launch.
I'm tired. I've seen so much.
I've played enough of this game.
Pode crer.
With this one, it has that amorphous nature to it, where like I can't quite pin down what it is, but you keep coming back to it, and that's when I think like internally it's like, oh, there's something special here. So rallying around that and just getting in as many people's hands as possible, like that's fun. So how do we cultivate that same experience when genre doesn't do it justice, comparing it to other games doesn't do it justice, like when all of those traditional things that are tried and true in game marketing aren't appropriate for this game? How do you do that? So we've thrown away the book and we're just getting people excited.
Cool.
So next question, can you give me the full marketing breakdown for
There it is.
Well, I don't know.
What a great answer,
all
man.
your marketing
You're not
beats.
replying to our email, so I can't tell you that.
Oh shit. Oh shit. It got
I had a
personal.
guy for that shit.
Looks like that's on you, homie.
It got personal it got real
Oh,
personal.
man. Oh, man.
Selfishly, I went to Chapel Hill. I'm trying to get a trip out to North Carolina.
There you go.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Well, you know where to find.
Yeah. Zeke?
I had one last just straight up game mechanical question. How does saving work in the game?
Oh, actually, cool answer for this one.
Okay.
We have a great autosave system, and it's really good. Like it's
Da hora.
really
Isso é importante.
I don't think I've ever talked about an autosave system as like this level of compliment, but anytime I've died, like I haven't. The worst thing you can do is repeat content and just feel like, oh my god, I have to do that again.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced that yet. So whatever dev made the frequency and like save points for the autosave system, like props to them. Like this is the best autosave system I've personally experienced.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
Is
you
there
can manually
manual
save.
saving?
Yes, you can also do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm a gambler.
Mhm.
And you said there's gambling in the game.
You want to
And
save scum? Yep. I got you.
yeah, kind of.
Yep.
Okay.
You got me?
All right.
Awesome.
Yep.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mwah!
Well, fantastic. I think we've kept too much of your time here on Sunday.
I was
Will,
gonna
so
say
we're gonna let
Will's
you
out
go.
of internet.
Yeah,
He's
your
run out.
internet's
I-
dying on us.
I
But hey,
hate the
You got all the
Go-
great
the
parts.
yeah, I hate the gigabit internet that I have. It just
I think it's
doesn't
an
work
LA
for me.
routing issue, like we were talking about off stream. I think it really is because
Yeah.
we've had like Jesse Cox on, and his routing's always had struggle
Yeah,
bus
but-
stuff as well.
But yeah, I do want to just take a second and say and make it very clear on one thing. Like the developers of this game, like I don't think I've ever worked with a team that's put their heart and soul into something like this. Like
Pô, tô animado, hein, galera?
they have,
Cê é louco.
and they always get mad at me because they're incredibly humble, and I'm not. So
Great. That's the perfect partnership right there. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah. So they're so humble, like, and I'm just like, guys, this is beautiful. I want to shout it from the rooftops. So that's like, it's this really cool partnership we have about they've made something special and they've just given me the gift to just be able to talk about something super cool. So I love that. And yeah, we're 32 days out from everyone being able to experience them themselves.
Nossa, não chega nunca desse dia 19, cara.
100% honest here. When JP and Co told me that you were going to be on the show talking about Crimson Desert and stuff, I was like, okay, I'll just chime in here and there every once in a while, because I had previous notions of what the game was. I thought the game was going to be like another Black Desert or MMO, blah blah blah, and the fact that you came on and just showed a game that I am like 100% into now. Like I am so like all the you know the videos and shit that we've shown and all the questions that you've answered and stuff like that. Like, dude, like you turned me around like 100%. I just wanted to say like nice work, good job.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's like I know that having a marketing person on isn't the best fit, but we also don't have developers in the US. So this is like I've spent a lot of time with the developers in order to try to relay their visions as much as we possibly can. So this is the happy medium that we can do. So I like you had Rami on last week. Like Rami's awesome. Like I aspire to be able to talk about the creative side like Rami,
Yeah.
but I don't do the bongo drums like we talked about. So-
Dude, we've seen Rami on the drums before. Holy
Yeah.
shit, you can't imagine. You can't.
So-
imagine.
Dude, he
That's
he
where-
runs
lines
when you
for
think he's
miles.
gonna zero, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
You're like, he's gonna do a 1. Nope, he zeros it. Bongo. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
10 out of 10. Cool. Any final words then, Will? March 15th?
March 19th.
19th.
Nossa, se fosse 15 de março, tava estourado já.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun. We're holding our cards a little bit closer to vest and what we still have to show off, and that's because we don't want to spoil everything. So
Got it. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. We'll let you get back to
Appreciate
your
the
Sunday.
time, man.
Yeah,
Lot of fun.
appreciate
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
almost
On a
2
Sunday.
hours here on a Sunday. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always great to bring guests on who are clearly passionate about what they're doing. So it's
Well,
the best thing you could
I
ask for.
I like playing and talking games, so this has been a real pleasure. I appreciate you guys having us on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to swap up scenes here. Feel free to leave, or you can hang out on the show.
É isso, rapaziada. Chegamos ao fim da entrevista. Pô, bem extensa mesmo, bastante dúvidas. Esses caras trouxeram umas perguntas muito boas. A gente viu falando um pouquinho mais dos barcos, exploração do oceano também, durabilidade das armas. Eram pontos que ainda não tinham sido abordados em outras entrevistas. Então dava pra ver que aqui, pelo menos eu acho que o Carnage aqui, ó, esse cara aqui, ele tava bem antenado e acompanhando bem de perto o jogo, né? Fiquei bem feliz por isso também, porque quanto mais, igual, tipo, em todas as outras entrevistas a gente quase viu o Will Powers ele repetindo as perguntas, né? Era quase as mesmas perguntas e aqui eles trouxeram boas perguntas, né? Ele até mesmo elogia as perguntas. Então eu fiquei bem feliz também que a gente conseguiu ver essas coisas novas também, né? Que ele discutiu. Questão do save, durabilidade de arma que a gente não tinha visto, né? E essas outras questões também que foram apontadas aqui nessa entrevista. E a cada palavra que sai da boca desse cara, eu fico cada vez mais ansioso para jogar esse game, rapaziadinha. Pô, e comenta aí, galera, o que vocês acharam? Se você chegou até aqui nesse final de vídeo, comenta feijão para mim saber que você chegou até aqui o final. E comenta aí o que você achou da entrevista, o que você ainda tá com dúvida no Crimson Desert, o que vocês querem ver ainda, que eu acho que tem muita coisa, muito ouro que eles ainda estão escondendo da gente, tá? Mas eu tô bem ansioso para as próximas, não sei se vai ter mais entrevistas, né, já que acabaram os previews do jogo, mas qualquer outra informação, vocês já sabem, eu tô trazendo toda a cobertura do Crimson Desert aqui no canal, por isso que é extremamente importante você se inscrever, ativar o sininho de notificações, dar aquele gostei no vídeo e aquela compartilhada para ajudar na divulgação e aquele hype também para espalhar a palavra para o mundo, fechou? Pessoal, eu tô com a área de membros também, então se vocês quiserem aqui se tornarem um membro para me ajudar aqui nessa caminhada aqui dentro do YouTube, eu agradeço demais. Só clicar no botão Seja Membro, escolher o seu benefício e você já vai estar participando, fechou? Se for comprar o Crimson Desert, lembra de sempre comprar pelos meus links na pré-venda, que são os melhores links. Eu tô deixando aqui na descrição, no comentário fixado para vocês aproveitarem. No PC tem um descontão pela nuvem, vocês até conseguem pegar a versão Deluxe em vez da normal, com um descontinho muito bom para vocês. E vocês me ajudam demais da conta. Pessoal, qualquer outra novidade, eu venho aqui pra gente conversar. Espero que vocês tenham gostado do vídeo. Até o próximo e tchau!